Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine.com, and I do a lot of video editing and create a lot of different shows. I got a new series coming on called Podcast Hacks, how to podcast, and I wanted to take the video to the next level. I've been taking a lot of audio, working on getting that better, but I also wanted to make the video even better. And the folks over at Red Giant, they basically said, "Hey, we have this package called Universe. Why don't you give it a try? Check it out, and let us know what you think. We'll send you some stuff and play with it and have a little bit of fun with it." And it's amazing because you think about it. It's like most of my videos have been pretty much gun and run. So even here in the studio, I'll record it and I'll make sure that the cameras are as best as possible with white balance and color correction and all that other stuff. But then I put it into the computer and I mix it down and I do very little correction to the video. I'll correct the audio so it sounds great and is something that you can listen to and stuff like that, but not too much to the video. And it's starting to change. I'm starting to think about that ever since I started playing with Red Giant Universe, because mostly I've had, you get these little bits and filters in Adobe Premiere, or I use Sony Vegas or other programs, and you use those filters and they're okay, and they do a little bit of correction. Maybe sometimes you just want to get that little some weird old time look or something like that. But starting to think of it in a more cinematic universe. I've really gotten to play with these filters and change the way that I think about it. Now, the biggest thing with the universe, there's lots of filters. You can sign up, you can start using them for free. There's some free stuff. There's some stuff you have to pay for inside there. So, but they also sent me this. This is the Magic Bullet Looks. And this is what has kind of changed my idea when it comes to creating video. Because if you watch a TV show, you'll notice that it's a little bit bluer, it's a little bit redder. Like, for instance, if you ever watched CSI, and then when they had CSI Miami and they had CSI New York, each one had a little different color to it. Like CSI Miami was always bright, so it always had that yellow, red color tone to it. But then you go to CSI New York, it was always blue. And in fact, I think they changed it halfway through because people were complaining that it was too dark in there. But regular CSI also have certain looks. Movies, TV shows and stuff like that, they always have a certain look, whether it be, this look right here, which is a little bit more brighter, this one, which is a little bit more darker, a little bit more shaded, or, just different ways to make things kind of pop out. And that's what this Magic Bullet does to the video, and I'm going to show you. And the best part is it was for Premiere. I don't normally use Premiere in creating my videos, but then I started using Sony Vegas from Movie Maker. Movie Maker you can't use these on Movie Maker from my understanding, but you can in Sony Vegas, and that's the best part. So what I did here, I brought out my band. We're playing, it was during the summer and stuff like that. It's a nice light look, so we can actually make some good changes with this. I want to show you this really quick. Basically what happens is when you install it, it installs the Universe. So it's an extra program technically on your computer. But it just basically puts in as extra video effects. So as you can see, we've got Universe Blur, Universe Crumple, Pop, Distort, Glow, Noise, Styles, Tune It, and of course Universe Utilities. So with the Magic Bullet, it's and of course up here is Magic Bullet Suite. It doesn't say Universe. So that's what we're going to show you here really quick of the few ones here, and then maybe play around with a couple extra filters and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and expand this as much as possible. It's not about the audio, it's not about anything, but actually seeing what's going on here. So my band, we were playing out, on a nice day, and we're getting ready to go. It looks good. I have it all set, so this video could be, it's great as it is, but we could do a little bit more. So with that, and I'm going to skip forward here because there's a lot of kids playing. So with that, what we'll do is I'm going to show you the Magic Bullet Suite. And we're going to go, first of all, we're just going to go with a straight up Cosmo. So we'll go over here And we'll just bring Cosmo in here, and we'll see what happens here. Cosmo, we're going to get some events, and I'll zoom in a little bit on this so you can see what the event effects options are. You can change the skin color, the skin squeeze, the skin softness, and you can do some fine tuning here. And of course, you can show a skin overlay. So if we do this, we got this on here now. So if I go in, whoops, I guess I didn't bring it in. So if I bring it in here, we can bring this into the video, and I'm going to back out here, and I'll get our, so we got the video going, and I can change the skin color. As you can see now, it's got a yellow tint to it. We'll bring it down the other way, so we can kind of fine tune to a skin tone that we kind of like and want it to go. Skin squeeze, if we go to the extremes, we won't see much in this video clip, but it's kind of like a posterize, I guess you could say. It's gets a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. So, and then of course the skin soften, where we can soften up the video there, and we can play a little bit with that and go from there. It looks like we have 2 instances up, so let's remove one, so we're not doubling our efforts here. Now we can see things a little bit better as my band's playing, and go from there. Of course, we've got some. I haven't set up any presets here. So that's basically the Cosmo. It's only one of many filters here. So let's back up. Let's go to the Magic Bullet Film. This is where we're going to really start to see some really cool stuff here. So let's bring this into the image. As you can see, it instantly changed the way the image looked. We'll go back to the regular one. And of course, this one gives it a little bit more definition. We've got a flat, what they're calling a flat footage. Let's go up here into the settings. As you can see, we can say our footage is flat video. We'll say it's video, and that changed it a little bit. And then if we go, of course, we can tell it what we want to see for stock. Let's say I like the Prololista, and you're not seeing this over here. Let's go back here. That's what that did, a kind of black and white color. So I can choose a Fujifilm, and you're seeing this as we go. This looks pretty good. This is the Fujifilm Real 500D here. And with print stock, we've got a Kodak 2383. We can change some of the print stock and make it look like a decent film. That looks pretty decent when it comes to that. We can change out the color temperature. So if we wanted a little bit more red in there, change up the tint a little bit. But as you can see, with that, we'll change some of the other stuff. And then, of course, the full strength. So this is what the video looks like. This is what it looks like with the Magic Bullet Film. And of course, I can also put in a vignette if I want to. When a vignette is the ability, basically it goes from the corners. Although this flips back and forth, doesn't really do much. So maybe that's not the best place to put a vignette. So that's basically the Magic Bullet Film. We're gonna turn that off. We're going to go in, we're going to take a look at the Magic Bullet looks here. And we're going to bring that into the game. Now this is a little bit different because this wants you to edit a look. So as you can see, the settings are there's nothing there. And the reason why is because of this button right here. It's called, and I'll zoom in really quick, it's called Edit Look. And the second I press this, it's going to open up another window where you can get information from. So let me back out here. I'm going to press this, so we might have a little bit of skipping as it loads up the program. So hold on a second. And it's thinking, it's actually loading up the program. Here it goes. So this is the Magic Bullet looks. And here's how it works. I'm going to just kind of move these out of the way. As you can see, this is something that you don't normally get, that I don't normally get to look at, and that's the RGB, the slice graph. We've got hue saturation, hue lightness, and if you know how this works, the memory colors. If you know how this works, then you could actually fine tune from here. But down here we have subject, matte, lens, camera, and post. Each of these areas are an area that you can actually add to it. So like, for instance, if we want to go to the subject, we'll go to the tools, and maybe we want to do a hue saturation in that area. So that'll bring it in, And of course we have some dials over here which we can change the hue, as you can see. Get that blues popping out. And of course saturation. We can then move over to the matte. We get a new set of tools. And let's say we want to put some cool streaks in there. So we'll do that. We'll bring that in. And as you can see, there's a streak right here. And there's a couple streaks right here. We'll turn it off so you can see it a little bit better. So it kind of has got a little glossy. We can change the angle, as you can see it moving around as that goes. And of course, we can change the color as well. We'll bring it up a nice red. We can change its size so it looks like a little or a lot. And then, of course, the boost, if we want to just kind of make it look like it's there, but it's not really there. So now we've put on a matte with a sparkle. We've got a hue saturation. Let's look at the lens here really quick. We got some great tools here. Edge softness, exposure, lens distortion, chromatic aberration. We've got cool haze. Let's try cool haze here. And we'll bring that back. As you can see, if I go up here, I turn it off, turn it back on. You can see the difference here. And then, of course, I can change some of the settings here. Let's, we want more soft or less soft. That looks about right. Let's, we can bring the full exposure so it looks like, you know, we're just, we're playing in sunlight, or we can darken it up from there. So we got different options here. We can turn off the reflection, turn on the reflection. And like I said, we can turn it off here. And if we want to get rid of it, all we have to do is move it off the timeline. Oops. Move it off. Yeah, it doesn't. There we go. Move it up off the timeline. And there it's off there, and go from there. So we'll put it right back there. We've got the camera. We've got the post. Like for instance, film print is an interesting post. As you can see, that made a very big difference on our video. We can do some settings here. We're going to change the temperature a little bit and a little bit. There we go. And then we'll vintage it up a little bit. And then we'll just hit the OK here. And because there's 100 different ways we can make this look. And as you can see, it looks completely different. And we'll just turn it off just to show you the difference. There's without any effects on front, and there's with the effects. With a little bit of starlight, as you can see, the glare coming off the guitars and the people's faces coming off there, and we go from there, and it's back. So if we want to give it a more magical look, we can do it like that. Now, I'm also showing you the what it does with regular show here, but we'll go back to the band here really quick. We'll just flip it back, and then we'll show you. This is the Magic Bullet film. This is what I have for a setting for the Magic Bullet film. And then this is what I have for a setting for Magic Bullet looks. And as you can see, two different things, and it really can spruce up your video like that. And even what I'll do is I'll kind of chop it up here. I can do some other things, like for instance, I can give it that old-timey look. I can give it just different looks during how the songs are played, so they look different and they look interesting. So you're not just looking at us playing, which what we do. So anyway, let's go over to one of these videos. This is a video I did a few months back with the Intuos and Mania Studio. Now we'll go back. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go back to the Magic Bullet looks, and then we're going to bring that into this video. And let's stop this for now. And now let's get into the edit look. And as you can see, it's got, I can make a whole bunch of changes here. And I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to go over to looks here, because this is easier to do. You'll have a whole bunch. Let's say I want to make it into a blockbuster video. So I'm going to kind of go with some of these different settings. As you can see, it's changing it around. Classic Epic is one I really like. So what I can do is Classic Epic, and it goes and it sets down the saturation, the 3-strip process, contrast, and saturation. There's another one in here, which I've been using, and where'd it go? It's basically Vignette, and it is in the camera. As you can see with the camera, they've got two parts here, the 3-strip process and the contrast. So I can go to camera, And I could also put vignette in here. I think that's where it was. Maybe it's the lens. It's in here somewhere. Let's just check one more thing here. Yeah, I'm missing it here, but basically I can put in what's called a vignette, which is the ability to darken the corners of the video. And I thought I had it here. Maybe it's in post. And I'm not seeing it as one of the options here. I got saturation. I can do Mojo or anything like that. So, but basically I could put in a whole bunch of different options here. That's interesting. I can't. It's in here somewhere. So I could also go indie and show some indie, like this Kodak short ends looks pretty good. Gives me a more yellow tint to things, and as you can see, it's changing things around. There it is, the lens vignette. That's what I was looking for. So with this lens vignette, we'll move the tools away. Now I can change the vignette. I can change the circle of the vignette to about here. I can change the amount of the vignette. As you can see, the corners start to darken and lighten as I move it around. We'll get a nice dark here. We can change the center, of course, and the aspect from there. And we can say anamorphic if we want, or just regular. So this is actually pretty cool. So I'm going to do that. And now my video has a whole new look to it. We're going to hit play here. And I can change the strength, so I can mix it in between both old and new. But here's one, and here's the other. Back and forth. So you can see how that works, because that actually pops out a little bit more on what I'm showing here. And you can get more information from this. So as opposed to this, because this kind of looks flat. But this definitely gives you a little bit more depth in some in between me and the monitors and what I'm talking about. So that's basically it. There's a lot more over in the universe. We've got a whole bunch of. Let me show you a few of these here. Don't need to run that. We've got glow, universe noise, universe style, even a tune it. This is kind of cool. You set it to tune it cartoon. And then you can, let's put that in there. Let's bring it back. And now I can kind of make me look like a cartoon. Let's hit the play button and see how this looks. Of course, it's skipping a little bit more because it's doing a lot more action. But I can soften it. I put lines on so it looks like I'm wearing, eyeliner or something like that. And I can really have some fun with doing cartooning to my videos, or just bring it back. And of course I had the magic bullet look, so we'll just do a regular tune it cartoon. As you can see, that changed things just a little bit as well. Excuse me. So anyway, so that's that. We've got some other options here. Let's bring it back up. Yeah, we'll do that. We can we've got the universe utilities, where we can adjust our color, our gamma, and we can fill our alpha. So if I accidentally don't make the video look awesome, then I can actually do it in post. And if I have video that starts here in the studio and then goes outside and then comes back, I can adjust each one to make them look as close as possible to the actual evening out. So it doesn't look like two different scenes all together, and put it all together into one main video. So, and that's pretty much it. That's the universe. Like I said, I use it in Sony Vegas. You might be able to, well, you'll be able to use it also into Premiere. So you can check that out there. There's a couple other programs that you can hook it up with. It is for PC. It is for Mac. The universe itself is absolutely free. There it is. You can just sign up for it and see what free tools you get. Of course, you can pay for some tools. And then, of course, the Magic Bullet looks, which I've used. I actually just used it in the podcast hacks video, like I said. I believe that that's $3.99, which is not a bad price to actually make your videos look a little bit more professional as you're going and give it a more of a movie feel. If you've got something that's red hot and you really need to talk about it, give it a boost of redness. If it's cool and laid back, like a jazz band or something like that, then you can kind of give it more of a blue feel to it, and one like this look, or maybe you can play with it, and you've got so many different options to play with to give it the color that you're looking for your video. And we're not talking just movies, we're talking things like this, doing stuff on YouTube, doing stuff on podcasting and stuff like that. It can really change the way that your shows are perceived by people, and I think that's important. So check it out. Magic Bullet looks. If anything, download Universe, get it going, play with some of the options in there, and see what happens, and go from there. My name is Jeffrey Powers. You can find me over at Geekazine. Think magazine, put in a geek. You've got Geekazine, and we'll see you next time. We've got a lot of great videos. Check it out at youtube.com/Geekazine as well. Until then, you guys geek out and take care.